These are the most essential apps I keep on my iPad as a college student. So before I go ahead and show you guys all the must-have apps I keep on my iPad, let's give her a little refresh. I've had this iPad for about 3 to 4 years now, and the case is looking dingy, and she could use a little refreshing. So I bought a few things off Amazon to just breathe some life into her. For my iPad, I got a brand new case from Amazon. So these are exactly like the smart cases from Apple. So when you flip open the case, your iPad will open up, and then when you close it, it will go to sleep. And these are literally like $20 as opposed to the $100 cases from Apple. And then what I really like about this case is it has a spot for your Apple Pencil, which is really nice because even though the Apple Pencils are magnetic to your iPad, I mean, like when you're going to class and you're taking your iPad in and out of your book bag, it's just nice to know that your $100 Apple Pencil is secure and won't be going anywhere. And then this is absolutely essential if you plan on writing on your iPad. This is a paper-like screen protector. So essentially an iPad is a glass screen. And when you write on it with your Apple Pencil, there is no friction and it is so slippery. So the paper-like screen protector creates friction so that it feels like you're literally writing on a piece of paper. So the paper-like screen protector adds friction. So then when you're writing with your Apple Pencil, it literally feels like you are writing on a piece of paper and it doesn't feel like you're writing on a glass screen. If you do not get the paper-like screen protector, it can be very hard to write with. Sorry, I get hot and then cold, so I've been taking on and off this hoodie. So yeah, I just popped a brand new case on the iPad. Absolutely loving the orange. I think it's super, super fun. I kind of had a rose gold case before. And then also I put a brand new tip on my Apple Pencil. So my case before lasted me 3 years, ever since I got this iPad. So these Amazon cases are super durable. And then my Apple Pencil tip, I just get the replacement tips off Amazon. If you guys are like wanting to know where I get all my iPad accessories, I've got a whole list of stuff on my Amazon storefront, and I leave that linked in the description if you just want to go down there and shop. But the Apple Pencil tips I replace about every 3 to 4 months. It just depends on how much writing I'm doing. Going into final season, I've been filling out a bunch of study guides and I have been like reorganizing my notes. So I have been wearing that tip down. So I just went ahead and replaced it with you guys. I get those replacement tips off Amazon as well. Okay, the iPad is all fresh and clean. I'm absolutely loving this orange color. I have a 12.9 inch iPad. I know she's huge, but I absolutely love this size for school. I'll tell you guys about that. But like I was saying, this case is so nice because It sleeps when the case is closed and then wakes up when it's open. But let's really quick go through my favorite apps that I use every day for college. I think first and foremost, we should start with a note-taking app. So if I'm looking down, it's because I have my iPad literally in front of me. Hopefully by me being off to the side, future editing Casey will be able to put her iPad screen right there. Fingers crossed. So let's start screen recording. So the way my iPad is organized is that I have, like, on the first page of my iPad, my productivity screen. So this is everything I use for school. I have a planning section, a notes section, stuff for Google Learning, all that stuff like that. And then the second screen is kind of like my fun entertainment screen. Let's go into the notes apps because I think these are some of the most important things for a college student to have. So I am personally a GoodNotes girly. I know the two major note-taking apps are GoodNotes and Notability. Personally, I like GoodNotes. You guys want to know why I chose GoodNotes over Notability? Just let me know, and leave a comment down below so I know you're interested in that, because I only want to make content you're interested in. And I will definitely explain to you guys why I chose GoodNotes over Notability. So how I organize stuff for school is I organize everything by semester. What's really nice is I have the GoodNotes app on my phone, and so it syncs up via the cloud. So we will hop into my spring semester. These are all the classes I am taking, and then what I love is I can further organize everything from book notes. My professor's super nice, gives us study questions, and then the lecture slides. So let's go ahead and open up one of my lecture slides. So what's super nice is these are the lecture slides that my professor directly uploads to our class website. I can download them and I can write notes directly on the slides, which is really nice. So that's personally how I take notes. I don't really see the point in writing my own notes when a professor will give me their lecture slides. And so basically when I'm taking notes, I'm just writing like additional details and stuff that will help me remember. I'm highlighting key points, all that kind of stuff. One of the main reasons I chose the 12.9-inch MacBook is because of all the screen real estate. So I have every single textbook on my iPad, and I love using the dual screen feature. So with the dual screen feature, I can have my GoodNotes notebook open, and then I can have my textbook open on the other side, and it literally feels like I'm using a notebook and a book. Like, there's enough screen real estate where I have room to write, but then also I have room to actually read the textbook. And when I was looking at iPad sizes and I went to the store and I was playing around with the different size of iPads, that was a huge deal for me. With the smaller iPads, when you were doing the dual screen, with taking notes and having a textbook, an article, a website open, that second window was very small, very hard to read, and I primarily was going to be using this for taking notes. So it was very important to me that I had lots of screen real estate. Also, I'm a huge video learner, so I wanted to be able to have YouTube or another video app open, be able to have a decent size of the screen, and still be able to see my notes and not have everything squished and condensed down. So that was super important for me. So I am a completely paperless student. I don't use any paper for anything. I keep a really small notebook with me just in case in one of my classes there's like a pop quiz and I need to write something down. But I also do all my planning on my iPad. I do digital planning. I no longer keep a hard paper copy planner, and I absolutely love it. I can access my planner from my iPhone, but what I love with digital planning on the iPad is I still get to write. I'm not really a fan of like Google Calendar and stuff like that where you're typing everything out. I really like the look of a handwritten planner. I just absolutely hated lugging a whole like thick planner for a page for each day around everywhere I went. And so being able to just keep my planner, my notebook, my textbooks all on one device really changed the game for me. I personally use the Flourish Planner. She sells them on Etsy. I've used them for a couple of years now. I love it because it has a weekly spread, so I can kind of plan my week out. Being a college student, every week is a little bit different for me. I've got different assignments due. I'm uploading different stuff on social media. I also work in the ER, so it helps me keep track of my schedule. There is obviously a monthly spread. It's a planner, so I can get a whole glance of my month. And the most important thing for me is it has a daily spread and a daily timesheet. So I'm not the best at time management. I'm really trying to get better with it. And so being able to plan out my day by the hour and that structure, I really, really need it. So I love to be able the night before, sit down, get cozy, and just plan out my entire day. And it's really nice because she has a section of like stuff to do for tomorrow, because a lot of times I'll know that I have to do something the next day, but I don't have anywhere to put it. And so the fact that she has like a due tomorrow section on her planner, I really, really like. So whether you use the Flourish Planner, I highly suggest, if you're a college student, go on Etsy, you can go on YouTube, look up best digital planners, and you can kind of do your own research and browse from there. But personally, I love digital planning on my iPad. The next thing that is absolutely essential for me as a college student is having the entire Google Drive on my iPad. My university uses Microsoft One, so whenever I'm collaborating with other classmates and whatnot, we are always sharing Google Docs, Google Slides, all that stuff. So having that entire Microsoft suite on my iPad is a must. Apple does a really good job at being able to open Word docs and open PowerPoints on the iPad, and it works pretty seamlessly. Now, the only issue I do have is when I am downloading a PowerPoint, if I import that PowerPoint directly to GoodNotes, sometimes the formatting looks a little weird. So a workaround that I've found is that I have to open the PowerPoint within my PowerPoint app and then save the PowerPoint as a PDF. And by saving it as a PDF, it helps with the formatting and whatnot. So then when I do open that PowerPoint in GoodNotes or whatever app I'm gonna take it to, it looks normal and this stuff isn't all moved around. This app is super, super essential for studying. It is Anki. If you're a STEM major, you have probably been beaten to death with how important Anki is. So Anki is a flashcard system. Like, I don't even really know the best thing to call it, but Anki is my lifesaver. It is the reason why I am getting such good grades this semester. I'm probably only going to get 1B this semester, fingers crossed. I haven't taken my finals yet, but I should probably only get 1B this semester. So Anki is a flashcard system, and it uses this very intelligent algorithm to show you flashcards based on how often you need to see them. So you open up, you create your flashcard deck on Anki, and I love it because I can create decks for my class, and then I can subgroup my flashcards based off modules or exams coming up and whatnot. And so then when you're doing your flashcards, you can rank how well you know the flashcard, and based off your ranking that you give the flashcard is when you will see the flashcard again. So it's like spaced learning, which, if you guys didn't know, is the most effective way to learn. I used to just be that person who I would write all my notes in my notebook, and then before the exam, I would reread my notes. That is literally one of the least effective ways to learn. Ever since I've added in doing my Anki cards and this spaced out learning and the active learning, my grades and just my like overall memory recall has become so much better. So highly, highly suggest using Anki if you haven't. I believe it is free to download on your desktop, but yeah, it is an absolutely great app. I also have it on my laptop because usually I find it easier to type the cards on my laptop and then it'll sync right to my iPad. So it's great. If I just have like 10 minutes, I can go through a couple Anki cards and just keep everything super fresh. So the books app that I have on my iPad, I've got Kindle, Libby, and the books app by Apple, and I have beef with the Books app from Apple. Having a huge textbook on it that has literally thousands of pages is not good for the Books app interface. It's super confusing. They keep like this scroll bar at the bottom of the application, and so if I'm writing hand notes and my palm bumps that scroll bar, I will literally lose my spot in my textbook. So if I ever have the option, I try to always download all my textbooks to the Kindle app. I've just found that the Kindle app is way more user-friendly, which normally that's a weird thing to say because normally Apple apps are super easy to use, they integrate great. But I will say if you have long 1,000-page textbooks, the Books app on Apple is not friendly. If you're just reading like regular novels, it's fine, but it's when it's super, super long, I absolutely hate using it. One of my favorite ways I use my iPad is when a professor gives us like a paper handout. What I usually do is I will scan that document into my iPad. Your iPad has a document scanner, which is super great. And then I can handwrite all my answers, and it is just super easy to stay paperless. I don't have all these random loose papers hanging around, and I'm able to organize everything super, super well. So as far as using apps on my iPad, I mostly use Notability. Like that is my main app that I use for my schoolwork. It keeps me super organized, and it's just a great tool for college students, and it replaces every single notebook I have ever used. I can't even tell you guys the last time I used a notebook. Being a paperless student is super, super great. And if you guys have any questions about my iPad or how I take notes and how I optimize using my iPad for college, please drop those questions down below and I will make sure to answer them. But speaking of taking notes, I actually have a couple study guides I need to finish up for finals because I literally take finals in 1 week. Oh my God, that is so scary to say.